In this video, we'll be working with tests. To add a test to your project, simply select the test tool from the toolbar or use the keyboard shortcut T. You can either add a point test or an area test. To add a point test, simply click and type. To add an area test, select the test tool, click and drag. Just like this. The difference between a point test and an area test is this. A point test expands horizontally and it doesn't wrap unless you manually hit enter, just like this. While for an area test, the test automatically wraps when it gets to the edge of the box. In Figma, you can convert a point test to an area test or an area test to a point test. You do that in the layout section of the properties panel. Here we have three options. We have the first one, auto width. Auto width expands your test horizontally, converting it to a point test just like this. Now our test have been converted to a point test. This is great for creating stuff like label, buttons, and short tests. These two options here are used to convert your point test to an area test. So the first one here is auto height. Auto height simply keeps your text box at a fixed width and then expand your text vertically. If I select auto height, it gives me the options to select the width I want. So I can go ahead and put 120. Now it has given my text box a width of 120 and expands the text vertically. And this is good when you are creating stuff like paragraph or multi-line text. And the best thing about this is I can manually drag this inward and outward to fit my desire. Alright, I'll keep this at 120. And the last option here is fixed size. This is when you can specify a specific width and height for your text box. This is useful when you must maintain a specific dimensions for your text area. So you have the option to specify the width and the height by yourself. Now let's demonstrate our point test and area test using this interface here. I have this picture of Eiffel Tower here. Now I want to add some text to this image. I'll click on my text to type and then I'll add an area test here. I'll just go to Google and copy this text from Wikipedia. I'll just paste that right here. To make sure I have the right size for my text box, I will turn on the grid and align my text board to the grid. Turn that off. I can style my text from the properties panel. So I'll select the text I want to style. Then from the typography section, I can change the font, say to this font Ionic Pro. And then I can increase the font size, say to 24. And I can change the weight of the font. I'll probably choose medium here. I'll move this up a little bit. And for my body copy here, I'll change the font also to Ionic Pro. I'll keep this as regular. I probably want to change the color to a lighter version of this. Let's zoom in. I can adjust the alignment here. I can use left alignment, center alignment, or right alignment. I'll keep this as left. And also this I can align it to the top, to the middle, or to the bottom of my text box. I'll just keep this at the top. I can adjust the letter spacing. If I increase this, you see how the letters expand. I'll just keep this back to 0. And also I can adjust the line height for my text. I'll just keep this back to auto. But probably I just want to increase this a little bit, say 60. We can do more things by coming to these type settings here. I'll click on this Now I have more options for my text alignment. I can use this justified, and I have decorative style. I can use underline, I can use strike, and you have more options here. Let's go back to basic, and I'll keep this as none. And for the case, you can either use uppercase, lowercase. This one is title case. Let's just go back to none. And we have vertical trim. We have the list type. You can convert this to a list. Let's remove that. And also your paragraph spacing. And the last thing here is you can add stroke to your text, which I would not advise, by the way. Let's remove the stroke. So guys, this is the long and short of text. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.